Spirit Tribe, Gigi here with Spirit Readings, and I'm so glad and so happy that you're able to join me here today, taking a look at the month of July for Leo. So wherever you happen to have a Leo in your birth chart, or if you're just wanting to check in on a Leo, hello and welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. We are going to find out what excitement awaits you in this month of July. So hello, my fellow Sun Leos. So happy to have you here. Please keep in mind that there are so many of us, so not everything may resonate, and that's perfectly okay. You can just set it to the side for someone else or for later even. You know, it may make more sense as events continue to unfold. Anything and everything is possible when we believe. So if it doesn't apply, you just go on ahead and you let her fly. No harm, no foul, no big deal. If you are new here, please keep in mind that I have had strokes, so sometimes that affects my memory. I can really struggle to find my words or even get them out. You know, I do get tongue-tied every now and then. I also have tremors, which can make shuffling a bit difficult. I sometimes feel like I'm being zapped in my hands, so when that happens, I drop whatever I'm holding, cards included. I also have glaucoma, so sometimes I do have to bring the cards a little closer to my face so I can see them properly. So just bear with me, you guys. You know, the messages get out the way that they are meant to eventually, right? Okay. Everything that you need to know about me, about this channel, you can find that in the description down below, especially if you would like to book a personal private reading with me, which I would absolutely love. I love being able to connect with you guys one-on-one, so make sure you're checking out that description box down below. Now, before we get to cards, we are going to get a direction message from the Spirit board. So north, south, east, or west. All right, Spirit, for Leo, July 2025. And happy birthday to any of my Leos that have July birthdays. I hope you have an amazing day. Direction message for Leo for this month of July. Okay, it is going to east, so east signifies the element of air and the power of the mind. So you got to make up your mind. It denotes the strength of the thinking process and mental health. To find east energy, you must look for it in the winds and in the very breath of human life within your own self, you guys. To heal yourself through this energy, concentrate on positive self-talk, affirmations, and journal writing. You know, get your thoughts out in a constructive, helpful way instead of harmful ways, you guys. Make sure you're speaking positively over yourself, over your life, about other people, situations, especially in regards to the future, because it has not yet been written in stone. So, all right, let's get some tarot messages here for you for this month of July, Leo. Thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, your wisdom, and your truth in all matters and in all things and at all times and in all ways. What is it that Leo needs to know for this month of July? All right. Okay, so we have Knight of Pentacles coming in. We have Queen of Cups coming in. Hello. Let's see. Two more cards here, Spirit. All right, we do have the Nine of Wands coming in. So some of your own fire energy coming in. And we have the Four of Wands coming in as well. So, all right, let me set these cards down here. All right, for the month of July, what is it that you think is going to happen? So, we have the Nine of Wands coming in for what you think is going to happen. Now, like I said, Wands is your own energy coming in here. It's the power of taking action. And, you know, we are fire signs, so we're like, let's do it. So, you may be on the defensive, you know, and something's requiring more patience than you would like, you know, you're battling or gearing up here to battle, and you know your back is being watched, your wands, you know, they're lighting the way so you can see what's happening, you know, so it's better to be cautious than caught off guard, right? And you know, perseverance, you guys, you know, you're a warrior here, and you know, you're surrounded by these 9 torches, and you know, the lion is a symbol of strength, you guys, your inner strength, your inner wisdom, your inner guidance. So even though you may appear like you're resting, you're actually planning your next course of action, you know, waiting to see what's going to happen around you. You know, you're keeping a cautious eye in one direction while the lion is watching your back. So whoever this lion is, you know, you may appear reckless to people sometimes, and you know, have an impatient attitude, and you know, impatient approach to things, and you know, sometimes we can be a bit overly cautious, you know, almost paranoid, and when we get into that, it blocks creativity and progress. So you know, those are things that, you know, you think may happen, you know, maybe you think you have to be on the defensive, you know, it's like your flight or what is it, fight or flight has been triggered here. So you know, on the defensive, looking for trouble maybe where there isn't even any around, you guys. It happens. So what's actually going to happen is this Queen of Cups. So cups is water. Water is the power of our emotions. So you know, the Queen of Cups is a nurturer, you guys, you know, and she's warm, she's sensitive, and she can be highly emotional, you know, but at the same time, she knows she's in control of her emotions instead of them controlling her. She is a gentle nurturer and an empathetic caregiver. She's loved by all, you guys. You know, here you may feel like everyone is working against you, but in fact, you're actually really loved, and you know, you're always honest, and you're always fair, you know, a poetic dreamer, you know, perhaps you're a warm and loving spouse, partner, you know, friend, even family member, compassionate mother to all, whether it's human babies, fur babies, you know, whether they belong to you or not. You know, so she's surrounded by the light of the full moon and by these water lilies and these dragonflies. So, you know, dragonflies, they often say, are our loved ones coming to visit. So, you know, she has her cup in one hand, her cup of love, and you could say that it is overflowing because she is constantly pouring into her own self. So not only is she nurturing others, but she has that balance, you know, you guys, of being able to nurture herself as well as others. So without depleting her own self, her own resources. So that is a fine line to walk right there, but you know, you have everything you need, you guys. And you know, because your east, the air, you have all of the elements showing up here: air, fire, water, earth. So keep that in mind. So your highest energy is this Four of Wands coming in here, you guys. So you know, you're happily ever after. You know, maybe if you don't have love yet, it's on the way if you're open and ready to receive love. You know, the White Knight, you know, he is her knight in shining armor, and she is the one to whom his heart belongs. There is something worth celebrating, you know, deeper commitment, getting married, getting engaged, moving in together, You know, they know that they're better together than they would be apart, you guys, and they're coming together as an added blessing to one another. You know, they're on fire for one another, you know, very attracted to one another, like can't keep their hands off of one another. I mean, hey, that's a firecracker excitement moment right there, isn't it? So something we should avoid is coming through with this Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles is actually one of my favorite knights. He's the slowest moving of the knights. So maybe it feels like something isn't moving fast enough for you. You know, here with this Nine of Wands, you could be being overly cautious here, like to the point you've got yourself stuck and stagnant, right? So but the knight, you know, he doesn't miss anything, you guys, and he doesn't have any weapons on him. So, you know, he can see things before they're going to happen. So make sure you are paying attention. You know, he can be stubborn with an all work and no play attitude. So, you know, maybe you're dealing with a Knight of Pentacles. He can be considered the least romantic of the knights, but his stability and reliability make him a loyal and trustworthy partner. So, you know, he only needs his staff there to keep him and his horse on the path that they're on. You know, the horse ain't trying to fight against him, you guys. So even though someone may be moving slower than you would like them to, you know, it's okay to be cautious. You know, it's okay to make sure, you know, sometimes people have their walls up and, you know, they think they're ready for love, but then they're like, well, am I really? You know, like, you know, that desire to get it right, you guys. And, you know, it's okay to take your time, because when we're building our empires to last, we want them to last. So we want to make sure we have that strong, steady foundation. So, you know, if someone's taking their time, don't try to rush them. You know, that's saying fools rush in is for a reason. And I know as a fire sign, we're like, but we want what we want when we want it, and I want it now. All right, let's see what's going on in the love department here for you this month of July, Leo. Now, this can include yourself. It can include family, friends, significant other, literally anywhere you have love. So if you're like, hey, Gigi, I really love my job, I really love my hobbies, then guess what? That is also included here. So let's see what we have coming in. We do have older woman dealings or relationship with an older woman, mom, grandma, aunt, could be older sister for some as well. It could be yourself if you're like, I am that, like, hello, I am an older woman now, but my mama is still here, so she'll always be older than me. So I can feel my mama's energy right there. We also have the rose for romances in the air. See that Four of Wands. You do have the spear for heartache over what you no longer have, whether it's a person, place, or a thing. We have the stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. So if you've been trying to have a baby or you know, trying to get your business off the ground, July could be a good time. We do have pale. It is time to get out of a situation, especially if it is keeping you stuck and stagnant, or if you're being, you know, extreme, like paranoid, things like that. We have lightning. Control your anger or you will be sorry. You know, you could drive somebody away if you're not careful, or, you know, maybe your own heartache is what's blocking love from coming in, or, you know, for you being able to give your full heart to someone. All right, let's see what's going on with career and finances for you this month of July, Leo. I'm always like, hey, yo, give me $1 million. You know, how awesome would it be if you woke up tomorrow and there's just $1 million sitting in your account? Be like, yeah, I manifested that. All right, let's see what we have. We have the dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. So, you know, it could be investments of some kind. It could be an inheritance or a windfall, but, you know, you you set aside for the future. We have the barrel. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. Could be all of it, you guys, if you feel like you're being bent over this barrel here, or you feel like you've been bending over backwards for other people who don't appreciate it. We have the door. Opportunities are waiting for you. So everything on the other side of this door is amazing. You have to be brave enough to go through it. Same with this archway. New opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up to you. So, you know, you have to make up your mind and decide to go through the door, go through this archway. Portal even is something I just heard. So we also have the gavel, involvement with the law. So if you got a lead foot, maybe you want to slow down. You know, you did have the lightning for control your anger. So, you know, domestic situation, you know, could be for some. It's not going to be for everyone. There are so many of us, so the possibilities are literally endless. But get a good lawyer. You know, maybe you're going through a divorce or something else. Something to do with property is also coming through here. So before you sign any contracts, make sure you know exactly what you're getting yourself in for. Make sure all the T's are crossed, I's are dotted, everything is on the up and up before you sign anything. If you have even a little niggle of doubt come in, pay attention to that, you guys, because that's your intuition letting you know maybe you need to read that fine print one more time. All right, let's see what's going on in life for you this month of July. You know, life do be lifing a little too hard sometimes. You know, your girl here is like, hey, yo, life, why don't you pump your brakes, use some Vaseline? And life's like, nah, bro, you can handle it. And I'm like, just because I can don't mean I want to, you know, like, come on, I would like things to be easy sometimes. All right, you have the peacock. Beware of great pride. You know, they say pride comes before a downfall, and they say us Leos have more pride than any other in the zodiac, but you know, hey. All right, we have the hat. You will be playing a different role. So, you know, maybe you're finishing school. Maybe you're, you know, going from being a caretaker to a caregiver. Or something along that, you know, like your parents took care of you, now you're taking care of them, that sort of thing. It could literally be you're becoming a parent, you're becoming a spouse, you know, more responsible even is something that came through. We have the dog, protection from a powerful friend. So, you know, you fall under the umbrella of their protection. It could be the older woman as well. Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Yes, you guys, be so in tune with your star player that those messages are coming in crystal clear and fast. We have the haystack, karma. You will reap what you have sown. So either that's going to make you feel really good or really bad, depending on what you've been putting out there. We also have the kite coming in for vacation. Long overdue is something I'm hearing here with that vacation. Like, it's definitely needed. And maybe for some it is a babycation. You know, if that's stork, if you've been having trouble with it, you know, maybe you go on a little babycation and then you come back together, and that's when, boom, pregnancy happens. All right, let's get a message from the moon. The moon is all about changes in our lives. You know, the moon herself goes through her changes, her cycles, her phases from new to full. She is beautiful, wonderful, and amazing in whatever phase she happens to be in, and so are you. So let's get a message from Mama Moon here for you, Leo, this month of July. Let's see what else you need to know here. All right, feeling led. First quarter moon in Libra, keep your heart open. And last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. So You know, we did have the gavel up there. Libra energy in Tarot is major arcana is represented by justice. The scales are in balance, justice in your favor. So, all right, first quarter moon in Libra here. Right, so keep your heart open. Yes, I don't know if I showed them to you. For some reason my brain is not working so great today. I had a migraine yesterday. There's a need to be adored here, which is fine. We all have that trait to an extent, but if it tips you into self-doubt, it's gone too far. It's important that you don't allow yourself to get set in your ways. Keep your heart and mind open and believe in your gorgeousness. Ooh, I like that. That's a good message right there. All right, last quarter moon in Libra here is make time for self-love. Okay, so while it's lovely to do things nicely, they also need to be done well. Be sincere. The way to get in the manifesting zone is to work through all your stuff. Once you've done that, you become a clear signal for your desires. Your manifestation affirmation. Harmony surrounds me. I am on my path. Ooh, yes, one more time. Harmony surrounds me. I am on my path. Ooh, I love that. Both of those are really great messages. So, all right, Leo, let's get you a Starseeds message for this month of July. Let's see what else you need to know here. Ooh, okay, we have Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. You know, you chose to be here. You're a divine being having, you know, an earthly experience here, you guys. So, you know, sometimes it's a balance between, you know, learning to be human or learning to be in the world but not of it. All right, let's get a Starseeds mini deck message here. And for some of you, you know, maybe you practice earthing, going outside barefoot, connecting with nature, hugging trees, you know, whatever it is for you personally. There's sometimes I like to do that, just go out and connect with Mother Earth. All right, we have release. Release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. Yes, be your true authentic self. Advancement. A strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings of your heart. So downloads, you know, like I said earlier, there are things that are trying to come in. We need to release so we can advance. Celebration coming in here again, that Four of Wands energy. Celebrate your achievements. You truly are a gift to the universe, you guys. Yes, we are all precious gifts. All right, let's get a fairy dust message here for you, Leo, for this month of July. Let's see what else you need to know here. We have flowers. Flowers will brighten up your space and create a very friendly place. And you know, I start hearing that song, I can buy myself flowers, and you know what, maybe you can. Maybe you're like, you know what, I can, and it makes me feel good, so I'm gonna do more of it. All right, Leo, I hope you have an amazing month of July. You know, a lot of excitement, you know, building your empire, whether you're having children or not, you know, putting more love and goodness out into the environment, you know, embracing your inner Queen of Cups, you know, learning to keep things in balance this month of July, and, you know, make sure you're keeping things on the up and up. You're not doing dirty, underhanded things here, you guys. You know, yeah, maybe it might get you ahead, but in the long run, you're going to end up paying for it eventually. So be your true authentic self. You are beautiful, wonderful, and amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful month. And if it is your birthday in the month of July, I'm an August Leo, but you know, I ain't got no hate for my July Leos. I don't understand why that's even a thing, but okay. All right, if you enjoyed the messages here, please drop me a comment down below. Let me know. Make sure you smash the heck out of that like button, that old thumbs up button. You know, hit it with the razzle dazzle, especially if you would like a bonus in your next month's reading. If you haven't already and you find you keep coming back here, please subscribe to the channel, you guys. That truly means so very much to me. I love growth. I love expansion. I love being able to interact with you guys. It really does bring a lot of joy into my life. You know, you are part of the teamwork that makes the dream work here, you guys. And you know, you had all 4 elements show up for you, so use what is available to you. And you know, you can go any direction you want. You just have to make up your mind. So make up your mind, take that action, you guys. All right, from the bottom of my heart, I love and appreciate each and every single one of you, and I want to say thank you, blessed be, namaste, and goodbye.